am an incarnated angel. Since my childhood I have been regularly experiencing astral journeys. I have had premonitions since my youth. In 2003 I experienced enlightenment episodes with Kundalini waves. Since 2008, when the astral journeys increased strongly, I did a lot of research. I compared my experiences and perceptions with those of other people. In 2012 the topic of the soul trap emerged from my subconscious. In 2013 the issue of the demiurgic and Archons came to my mind. In 2015 I discovered that souls are stuck in a subtle archontic matrix. The subjects of soul trap and archontic matrix triggered strong Kundalini attacks combined with intense physical symptoms, which helped me to process and transform all of this. Since my consciousness, through an act of enlightenment, is located on the fifth density, 5D, I saw through the manipulations of the fourth density, such as witchcraft, gurus, as well as the illusions of the third density, such as mobile phones, product advertising, consumer behavior, etc. During the day, my consciousness constantly changes between the different spheres and perceives different processes simultaneously. At night a part of my consciousness leaves my body and switches to the angel or elf consciousness, either to the spheres close to Earth or to the heavenly spheres. There, depending on the task at hand, it fulfills very specific tasks, trains other developing souls, leads unredeemed souls into the light, or experiences activations and healings. Some of my nocturnal activities are about the fact that my angelic part is sad that he is here. It is a mourning process to heal this part of the soul. Why is an angel sad, you may ask? Well, the angel I am connected to was sent to Earth by the true God to proclaim his word and also to help some traumatized angels to overcome their trauma and to show them the way back to the true God. However, it happened that when he entered the realm of our galaxy on a higher dimension, he fell into the soul trap of Baphomet. He was divided into many soul pieces and scattered into different life and time periods. Meaning, at different planets, at different times, in different dimensions. This caused a huge shock, most of which was immediately pushed deep into the female soul part for a long time. Therefore some male earthly incarnates fared a little better than the female incarnates. The angel lost consciousness of who he really was. He was split into male and female and was locked into unsuitable bodies. Abuse programs were put into his aura, the veils of Isis were put over him, and he was finally thrown to Earth through a terrible technological apparatus. In 2012 this repressed psychological trauma suddenly came to the surface and rolled over me with the most severe physical symptoms. In addition, I could feel the trauma of the other incarnated angels who had experienced this as well. Since 2013 I have been processing this trauma mainly in my dreams. An important realization was that my angelic part is part of a complex soul, created by fragmentation. The complex soul comprises several dimensions and thus several habitats. These can be light or dark. Since it has been split, it is branched. Which means that on a physical level several incarnates can belong to one complex soul. If such a complex soul branched out downwards several times, then the original pair of soul twins became several male and female soul parts in several bodies. And often these also include shadow incarnates, which must also be transformed. That one has to find one's missing opposite-sex twin soul part in order to become whole is thought too simple. It is true that the complex soul has to find its missing parts, but this then concerns many incarnates and not just two people. Shadow incarnates arise when a complex soul branches or is split. The demiurge does soul splitting, because it gives him soul energy. That is why a shadow incarnate can act against its own light incarnate and betraying it, although it comes from the same complex soul. It is claimed in many esoteric circles that every soul incarnated on Earth came here voluntarily, and everything it experiences here would have been chosen and created by itself. Such statements may be true for souls who are developing on Earth. But some souls have been tricked into incarnating here. Only a certain percentage of souls have agreed to an incarnation on Earth, but not all of them. I have met people who are here absolutely involuntarily and suffer immensely. And this coincides with my own perceptions. A part of myself is also here involuntarily, another part was tricked to come here. I know of incarnated angels who received an impulse from Earth that their help was needed, but they did not know what it was like here. Incarnated angels endure many things here that harm their light-filled energy system. I can only emphasize again and again that many suffer and that it is a shock for them to be here as angels, which they have to process, and I speak from my own experience and I know somewhere it is the same. If an incarnated angel finds it really great and chic to be here, then he has a fallen angelic part in his divine soul. Angels are originally here because they were supposed to teach, enlighten, heal and to bring the divine love. They are definitely not here to be worn out and exhausting, senseless, cheap jobs. The demiurgical system is so subtle, tricky and full of traps and is therefore perceived and seen through by very few. Surely it is possible to escape this matrix, if one has seen through the demiurgical system. But the demiurgical system for this habitat will continue to exist as long as there are corrupt, naive, and ignorant people who continue to serve it. Upon leaving this plane, these souls must be very alert and well prepared when they cross the first spheres close to Earth. Large parts of the after-death realms, both light and dark astral regions, are interspersed with camouflaged light traps by the demiurgical system, often in connection with dark extraterrestrials. If a soul succeeds in making contact with its higher soul parts, then these are pulled a little bit into the physical world, and that is in reality the descent downwards of higher soul parts into physical matter. The true ascent of the soul can be recognized by other signs. This can be seen in dreams, for example, when someone dreams that they are climbing an invisible staircase in the air, the ladder of heaven or Jacob's ladder, or that they are dancing ballet in the air or skating in the air. In the following I give my description of how the astral planes are structured after death. Primeval source, demiurge, archons. The physical cosmos has a different origin than the primeval source with its spheres, which can be called mega-god souls. The world religions do not automatically connect with the primeval source. Simplified classification of the worlds. 1. Above all is the primeval source with its spheres or mega-god souls. These are the upper heavens, the true spiritual world. Between the primeval source and the second creation matrix there is a curtain of separation. In this curtain there is an eye of a needle leading to the primeval source. 2. The second polar creation matrix, created by the first great fall of some mega-god souls, which then became adversary forces. This matrix is divided into the worlds, for example Earth, and into the dimensions, near-Earth dimensions including astral planes. 3. The dimensions of the Archons, which are the lower heavens, follow after the dimensions near to Earth. Beings such as the Demiurge, Lucifer, Satan, Ahriman, Beelzebub, Hermes Trismegistos, Mammon, etc. are different adversaries with different negative qualities. They have incarnates on Earth and other planets. They also created souls, some animal species and the physical body. The Demiurge created Archons, angels and other forces. Some of these angels rebelled against the Demiurge. The material worlds partly have structures from the primeval source, but they are changeable and imperfect. Soul traps. There are different kinds of soul traps. 1. The soul traps preceding material planets are used by the Archons to attract souls. The call for help from a planet or by souls from there are already part of the trap. 2. When a soul gets incarnated into the physical world, various veils are installed by the Archons, physical veils in front of the eyes, ears, around the glands, emotional veils, karmic veils, spiritual veils, all kinds of chips, implants, enslavement programs are installed, doors are blocked and sealed in the mental space, around the large organs energy sheaths are placed, which have connection points to the archontic matrix and prevent a free energy flow in the body. 3. The light souls are divided into male, female and into different parts, and are forced to incarnate on different worlds. 4. The light at the end of the tunnel, your souls are intercepted and incarnated back into the physical world. 5. The karma trap. False karma is presented to the souls, creating false feelings of guilt so that they want to incarnate again to compensate for it, thus becoming more deeply entangled. 6. The traps in the astral planes. Beautiful false places are shown these souls and they were magically bound to these places. Sometimes this already begins in life, for example through the work of a charismatic guru. 7. The archontic matrix, a subtle web in which soul parts, suspended from the back, are held in subtle spaces and programmed with various programs. This web extends into the physical body and is attached to the spine. It is activated anew in each incarnation until the soul part is freed from it. The activation begins in childhood. 8. The Archons have placed a subtle web around the earth to hold back souls. Only through a connection to the angel consciousness, or to the Christ energy of the fifth density, is it possible to see through the manipulations and illusions of our earth matrix. And that is what will guide us home safely.